Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. That's Deleitha. I'm Travis. It is
Hello.
Monday. That means it's time for Monday Night Football. And some
Monday
wrestling.
Night
We got
Footballs.
Rack Rod out there. Looked like she gained a little bit of weight this offseason. And Liv Morgan, who might be putting on a little bit of weight herself.
Maybe.
Just the time.
It's a possibility.
It's that time of the season.
I don't know what that is, but...
We don't like it. He moved immediately.
It's gone now. I don't know what.
Yeah, it disappeared.
Okay.
Cool.
Alright, anyways, we do have people in the chat. Hey guys, good to see you tonight. Sorry we didn't come in on Friday. That boxing match did happen on Friday, and so it was just a little bit weird. That keeps up.
Seizure.
Seizure. Right.
Last Monday.
I don't know what that is. That's weird.
Is it still doing it?
Yeah, it popped up again.
Something to do with the TV, because it's the MSI thing.
It might.
Have it over there.
I know it kind of did a little bit of buffering on our stuff there for a second.
Oh, really?
On our stream.
Old buffer.
Anyway, Sophie says, hi, welcome back. Missed you guys Friday night. I heard the Netflix Mike Tyson fight had a lot of problems with many people.
Yeah.
Walter is also in the chat, and so is Chris. Good to see all of you tonight. Thanks for being here. Walter says, hi, Charles. Hi, Daphne. Raw tonight. Good matches. Chris says, watching Texans versus the Cowgirls. Walter says at 9 he's going, but he'll be here Wednesday at 8 p.m. For AEW after the bingo.
There was a lot of cowboy cheerleaders on the boxing, too.
Yes. Chris says BS boxing match. Sophie says Beyonce is the halftime act for the NFL Christmas game on Netflix. Well, don't worry.
I didn't even know
She's
she
not
was
relevant, and it probably won't go off without a hitch because I'm sure they'll have too many buffering issues. Walter says AEW Full Gear this Saturday.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. We will not be here for that. Sophie says they announced the first Raw on Netflix will take place in LA with Travis Scott as one of the people there. And Sophie also said I thought Dee was going to be here Friday. Well, you know, stuff happened and life got busy, so.
She got drunk on fun.
Got drunk on fun. Probably not that.
Oh, there's Tiffany. And the Pixie. And the big old broad.
I guess they were like, well, we'll throw Candace there with them, so that'll give them an extra person since she has nothing else. Nope, absolutely not. Sophie says hopefully Netflix fixed whatever the problem was on Friday before Raw debuts there. They probably won't, Sophie, but whatever.
They've got to figure something out. I mean, obviously there's not going to be as many people watching Raw as were watching that fight.
True.
Not even close.
But you got to remember that there will be people watching Netflix that won't be watching Raw.
Well, yeah, but not 150 million people. There, I can hear. Had to clear out my wax.
Do you have a problem?
I was going to make candles with it, and then I just had to throw it away.
Okay.
All
Walter
right,
says
well, we got all these girls in the ring. Who's going to be the third member?
Walter says last week no bingo, but there will be bingo this Wednesday.
Or is this their team? This is their War Games team?
Chris says, why is Miss Spaghetti in this group now? LOL, it's for War Games. Guess.
Yeah, Triple H has to add people that are irrelevant sometimes.
Walter's like, hey, Leopold. Did you say hi, Leopold? Sure, make sure.
That's all they can think about. Here she comes. Bianca coming out by herself?
I guess.
Oh, Jade's with her.
Ravi's in the chat. Hey, Ravi, good to see you. Says, what you saying? Not much. And Chris says, damn, Bianca.
You want to do something, then do it.
Yeah, and do it. Whatever that means. He's in your water.
Oh, of course he is. Oh, God. And then the trash comes.
Got a quitter and that one lady who thinks that she's something because she's the world championship #1 contender.
Just trash. So who's going to be their 5th member? I doubt it'll be Kyrie. Rhea, probably.
So,
Unless she's broken. I forgot her face was broken. Okay.
So, so Tiffany's top,
Uh-huh.
like, so there's like quote unquote underwires in it,
But
they're
up here?
not under their boobs. They're like on top of her boobs. So it looks really weird. So I don't know if she did it on purpose or what, but it's
They
weird.
cleaned up after that fight and are having a football game just 2 days later.
That's crazy. I don't know how they did that. Chris says outnumbered and less surprised at War Games. Sophie says there are jokes on Twitter about what Raw will look like on Netflix. And Ravi says, I am currently watching your nation's football game versus Jamaica.
Nice.
That's cool. Oh my god, why does she look even worse?
I think it's... What's his name? Goldust?
I don't...
It is Goldust. Oh wait, no. That might be Rhea. And then she headbutts the broken eye socket.
Okay.
Well, I called it. And then I was like, oh, she's hurt, isn't she? I couldn't think of anybody else saying that.
Oh, jeez. Chris says, well, Rhea isn't winning Rumble then, so that means Becky will return and win the Rumble BS. I guess. Maybe Charlotte. Harley's in the chat, though. Hey, Harley, good to see you. Says, hello, everybody.
God.
Sorry,
Ground
had not been around. Been busy and getting over with pneumonia. Well, that
Ouch.
sucks. Sorry you've been sick. A lot of people have been having pneumonia. It sounds like it's an outbreak. Somebody says there are rumors that after Saturday night's main event happens in a couple of weeks, the rumored date for it will be a week before the Rumble. And Robbie says, USA looking good so far. Huh.
What about the next one? Is that what they're talking about?
Sophie's talking about the next main event.
So not this one, the December 15th.
Yeah.
The next one will be before
The one
Rumble.
saying that it'll be a week before the Rumble.
Huh, so they're going to do 2 in 2 months, huh? So there's a girl behind them that has a shirt of a naked girl on it.
Mm-hmm.
See it?
Yeah, and she doesn't have a bronze. Her boob tits are like down like this. Yeah, I could see how unflattering it was behind him. Yep.
I was just saying it was funny.
Sophie says we know they taped this Raw last week, but we don't know what else they filmed that the crowd didn't see.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I didn't look it up because I figured...
You know, it's funny that they are refusing to do live events. It's weird.
A Triple H regime.
I'm pretty sure that most of these companies pay for the live part of it, not pre-taped crap.
War Games is like almost good, and then Triple H fucks it. It's like, hey, let's make it really... no, I have a better idea. Let's put Candice LeRae in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, let's put Io Sky in it. I got an idea. Let's put Bronson Reed in it.
They're like, we're going to put Io Sky because we know that she falls off of things in garbage cans.
Yeah.
Because she's the whatever of the sky. Okay, going up high and falling down is not a talent. I don't care who you are.
Well, a lot of people.
Now, if you're going to go up high and then you're literally going to jump 10 more feet up in the air and then come down and do something cool, then yeah, you can be. But, nah. Sophie says, how are you liking Bronson Reed being put on the new Bloodline team?
Absolutely ridiculous. The only reason they're doing that is so Seth Rollins has something to do, and it's dumb.
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
It'll be them going after him, and they'll,
just leave Seth Rollins out another pay-per-view, and he can dominate next year. There's no reason to put Bronson Reed on a stupid team so you can have Seth fetching Rollins.
Well, he's from New Zealand, so I guess, you know, he's like the Tongans. I don't know. I feel like they're doing stuff that could be construed as the things that Vince completely always got told that he did wrong or whatever. What? Chris says, so Bronson Reed is in the bloodline, but yes, man, he's not even related. And Chris says,
sort of.
neither are the Tongans.
Yeah,
How are they related?
Well, the islands of Samoa and such go all the way to
New
Australia.
Oh.
To New Zealand.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I get that. I just think it's weird.
Zelina Vega. Shake 'em, Zelina. Shake what the doctor gave ya.
They're doing a team?
Shake what the doctor gave ya.
This is like
Maybe.
a mixed...
Maybe. Are we going to get Electra Lopez? Or who are they feuding with? Here he goes. Triple H is trying the indie stuff. Let's do the mixed tag stuff.
Chad Gable and Ivy Nile.
Well, that'll work. They literally picked the 4 smallest people on the entire roster. That's funny.
Chris says Sky is in it to be the spot monkey. So he says, I don't know why they couldn't keep War Games 4 versus 4. So he also says, I think they put Reed in War Games so they could see him hit his finishing move off the cage.
Not happening.
One, he would kill somebody and injure them, and he would also probably injure himself because he's so big.
I won't say it won't happen, but if they do it, it's going to be like on a table. Like it's going to be
Nobody's going to
protected.
be under him. There's not going to be a wrestler anywhere near him when he does it.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody. You could use Jimmy. He's worthless.
Ugh. Yeah, but you don't want him to rupture things inside of himself for something that dumb.
There's a table. Protects him. Kevin Owens is in there, maybe. He's not, but if
Chris
he was.
says, yeah, Seth is just going to interfere in War Games, and Rock is going to come out BS. They just want to be total chaos just so they can make callbacks. It's so fucking annoying. And Sophie says 4 versus 4 with War Games would have been so much easier.
Yeah, too many rings, though. You can't have 4 versus 4 in a 2-ring setup. You've got to have a lot of wrestlers so it doesn't look like there's empty space. So I understand why they do it. I just don't like that they rushed it at the end.
Yeah.
They could have literally had this planned for a year.
Yep.
Or 6 months, maybe. Like
all the time that Roman was gone, they could have planned what they were going to do at War Games.
Instead of like, okay, it's 2 weeks to it. Let's rush it. And it's like, so Candice LeRae's in there? Why
well, they didn't know what to do with her after they fired her friend.
Right.
What the fuck were they going to do with her then?
I don't know.
It's like they don't know what to do with their garbage, so they're like, you know what, we're just gonna make you have a spot. We
did miss Chim on Friday, I guess. Reckoning did wrestle. She tried to do a shaker booty thing, which is just weird.
Because she doesn't have an ass? Why the good God. Whatever they're doing, stop. It's not making it better. So it says Reed and Rollins feel forced into this whole bloodline versus bloodline feud.
It is forced. It's ridiculously forced.
Yeah, the reason why it feels that way is because it truthfully is that way.
They're like, here, we got to fill up these rosters.
Yeah. Chris says War Games used to be star-studded match, not factions. So it says Reed and Rollins could have been captains of 2 different Survivor Series elimination match.
Yeah, they could have went.
Or they could have just got rid of the whole Reed and Rollins feud crap that makes absolutely no sense from the beginning of when it happened to the time of now. I would have been so... I feel like all I've done is waste my time watching that shit. It's almost like the Andrade versus that other dumb shit that thank God we haven't seen for a minute. But I'm not sure when that'll come back because I'm sure that they'll have to do more of that and force it on our faces.
Right.
I don't even remember the other guys' names because it was so fucking irrelevant to even have it.
Hayes.
Dumb assholes.
Carmelo.
Thank you for boring us with stupidity shit. There it is.
Yeah. Comes out in November 26th, I think. 27th.
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, the day before, I think.
The day before?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
There's a whole bunch of flags in play. We're going to let him run down there, waste all of his air, and then be like, that doesn't count.
Holding on the offense.
Call it back.
Bring it back. Start over. We got holding on the offense. Number 17, 23, and 14.
Everybody's holding.
Illegal man. Downfield on the offense.
Look at that. Your run means nothing. Congratulations for running down there for nothing. Lucky you. Why did they just call the play dead when that happens?
Why? Let them run.
Poor guys.
Run, Forrest, run.
It's just a waste of their time.
Yeah, it's a terrible call. It's real, but it's terrible. Isn't Travis Scott the one that caused an earthquake in, like, Rome?
Was he?
I think so.
Because of all the jumping?
Yeah. Some say it's just because his music is, like, devil worshipping. So God shook the earth under it. But...
It might be devil worshipping. I don't know, though.
Holding. On the other side. First down. Braun Breaker. That's a way to give it up.
Chris says, like it should be main eventers, for example, Roman, Cody, Seth, Orton, LA Knight versus Owens, Gunther, Nakamura, Kaiser, even Andrade.
Yeah, we saw Nakamura come back on Friday also.
Sophie says the build to War Games used to be built throughout the whole year, not a month.
Yeah.
Sophie says Cody and Kevin Owens would have made some sense to be part of War Games, unlike Rollins and Reed. Chris says, here comes American Made, a.k.a. Cody's group. Sophie says, I thought they would have debuted a new Bloodline member on SmackDown.
Yeah, they don't have one.
Did you sleep too much now? You're just all sorts of weird, buddy. Can you not get over there? Because Dad's too close. So weird.
He's like, Mom has a really cool lap.
Purring? You excited?
I think Chad Gable loses all the time. Good thing he re-signed.
Right.
It's not a toy.
And the match started.
It's official. We are underway. Selena Vega outside with the other girl, Ivy. But instead, they show us the dudes inside for some reason when the women are outside.
Well, they stopped fighting, and
That's-
now they're in their respective corners.
Selena can't even see over the top rope. It's like Johnny wrestling. Oh, Ivy was about ready to get in there. Oh, shit.
Sophie's like, this Raw on Netflix is going to be rated TV-14.
Is that what they said? I mean, it's cool if they try it. I mean, that's what AEW is.
TV-14 doesn't mean swearing and nakedness and anything of that nature, by the way.
They did it twice.
Different guy, but yeah.
No flag. I didn't same team. I said they. But that's a touchdown. That's Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Is he related to Richard Mixon?
Maybe. Chris says they might still have Paul Heyman turn heel and bring in Lance, Anoa'i, or Zilla Fatu to interfere in War Games, or Rock bring them in. So
or just bring them both in anyways.
Why not?
There's no reason to do it at the pay-per-view.
They should just get rid of all the other people on their roster and just put all those people in there.
Just
all
have
those family members.
Like the NWO of the Samoan.
Yeah, and then get rid of everybody else and then make it an indie show.
Like the Samoan SWAT team.
Sophie says Travis Scott is going to be the new theme song for Raw on Netflix. Sophie says that cliffhanger with Roman calling Heyman and Heyman couldn't answer. Wow.
Wow.
And Chris,
Yeah, maybe Heyman will come back with Brock.
Ooh.
Just makes sense to no one about nothing. The wise man.
Chris says the Harley Cameron versus Mina was a fun match.
You know, I did not see it.
Forgot
I forgot
all about it.
It was on and
Forgot all about it. That would have been Saturday, though, when we watched the UFC fights. We had a lot of people over. So.
Yeah.
Do you think in the TV-14 age, instead of panning away when they're spread eagle on the ground like that, those ladies, they'll keep the camera there?
I hope not. It's weird. We don't want to see down there. Let's see their little ding-dong stick out or something.
That was Selena Vega that was down on the ground. Thank you very much.
There's other people.
Sam says Roman and Cody is advertised for Raw on Netflix. Sophie also says, do you think The Rock will show up after War Games?
Probably to sell tickets to Raw. They're going to do all they can to get people to watch Raw. Because they're probably worried that only like 800, 700,000 people are going to watch Raw. And that's going to be fucking crazy to think about.
I hope it is. I want it to be that way so badly.
Raw's like a perennial like 2 million, 1.7 million. And they're going to be lucky if they get 900,000. Ugh. It's going to be like AEW.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens when you take it off TV. I mean, you can't expect it not to happen.
Nope.
It was it still is right now, but it was the longest running episode of television show of all time.
Right.
But
That's fun.
It's over.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be over.
Chris says, my boy Joe Richard Nixon, LOL. Sophie says Survivor Series will have the same start time as Bad Blood by starting at 6 p.m. Chris says Scarlett and Shotzi are so funny on their YouTube channel visiting haunted locations. I would say bring in Harley Cameron, have her team with Shotzi, Scarlett, have them tear through women's division.
I said the same thing. That would be a true Trey match, right? Like, they would be a great three-way. They're all pretty. They're all fun. They have fun together.
I mean, my God, Harley Cameron wants to stab people with a chef knife. I mean,
This fucking guy.
Just doing his job.
Well, shit's falling
They're
down.
like, hey, look up there. Look at that guy. Old Jerry Jones. He's all old. He has no idea what's happening. He's just like,
He's like, I ain't going up there.
Like, I'm not looking at anything. I'm going to chew on my sunglasses.
Get it fixed. Yeah, that shit was falling out of the ceiling.
So it says they already started playing Christmas music on the radio.
Hell yeah, it's Christmas season.
And then Killer Cyber in the chat. Hey, Killer says, hello. How's it going?
Uh-oh, there's a flag.
There's fighting! There's a fight! People are mad. Ooh, that's a real fight, too. People are going to get thrown out.
If there's a punch thrown, it will. There hasn't been a punch yet.
Why were they mad? I didn't see what happened to make them all mad.
I think it was a face mask.
I don't know, but they were all fucking pissed off.
Doesn't matter now, because everybody will have penalties, so they'll all be offsetting.
Mm-hmm.
See? I don't know if that was face mask or not.
Maybe it was after the play, because he did kind of grab around his neck a little bit after the play was down.
It's funny, the guy that did it...
That dude.
The guy that did it literally left.
So they're like, it's holding on the Cowboys.
No other flags.
But that's it.
It was all just pushing and shoving.
Holding on the Cowboys. Right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. Because this isn't a penalty. Yeah, he just tackled him. All right, we got the women in there. We got Zelina Vega in there with Ivy. Ivy Nile. She's the longest river in the world, I believe. Or is that the Amazon? Amazon's longer. Nile's just bigger. It moves more mass.
Yeah. So he says, do you think War Games will have 5 matches or 6? Last pay-per-view had like 6 or 7.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it only had like the minimum 4 or 5, because both War Games matches could last an hour.
Yeah.
It takes, I think we clocked it the last time, and I think the women's match, once everyone was in, it lasted 10 minutes.
Yep.
But it took 35 minutes to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about 40 minutes, 45 minutes plus.
Yeah.
And the men's lasted longer, but not a lot longer.
Not after everybody was in there.
Maybe 55 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't last long after everybody's in.
Either way, 2
stuff.
matches is going to last an hour and a half. So, unless they're going to start it early, like around 4 like they did last time, or 6 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
And then go till, what would that be? 11 Eastern, something like that.
Yeah. Chris was like, they having a fight. They were having a fight, all right. Stephanie says, I saw that Mike Tyson tried to pick a fight with Logan.
He called him out. He didn't try to pick a fight. But yes, that's what calling out is, I guess. You're right, 100%.
Are you talking about when they were face-to-face?
At the end?
Oh, at the end?
When he said, they asked Mike if he was done. And he said no. Maybe I'll fight his brother. And then Logan says, I will kill you, Mike.
Killer says Raw on Netflix is going to be TV-14. I heard this news on the Ango show. Yeah, TV-14. That's pretty sad. That's exactly what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. It makes sense. They can't do too much. They can't be too edgy, and the reason is because of sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have ads played during the show, and if they're going to have ads during their live programming, you've got to have advertisers that'll be okay with anything that you decide to do. She pulled the top rope down and Ivy went through the second rope.
Oh, fuck.
That's
Oops.
even funnier.
Poor girls.
She's like, I got the rope.
Sophie says a former NFL football player signed with the WWE named Trill Williams, and Evander Holyfield's son also signed with the WWE.
Oh, that's cool. I watched him box for a while, unless it's a different son.
He could have like 5 of them.
He probably does.
He could be like, what's his face?
George.
Mm-hmm. Who has all George?
Shit. George.
Well, they gave him the win.
Chad's just washed up.
They gave the Mysterio a win.
Chad's done. If you're losing to a 60-year-old man, this is exactly like the Logan Paul thing. Like, if Logan would have lost, you're done, right? It's the same thing. He just lost to a 60-year-old man. Mm-hmm. He's basically in his prime.
Chris says, if fighting like this means anything, let's be honest, Cowgirls haven't been relevant since 95, since I was fucking born, man. And only last year, Texans have been decent. And Robbie says, USA 1-0 up, don't know how. LOL.
Yeah.
And Killer says, I saw the new Raw logo, and it's not my cup of tea. And Zoe says, we are going to have a lot of double tapings for both Raw and SmackDown for the most of the year. And Robbie says that fight was predictable from the press conference. Sophie's like, I'm surprised Raw will be TV-14 with them moving to Netflix. I thought they would be getting a high rating. You know, it's funny because all of you thought that, except Travis and I. We're like, yeah, no. There's no way. Oh, God. Oh, no, now they're mad.
They're all getting fired up. You a loser? I'm not a loser.
Why is she having them fight each other?
That's how you get them fired up.
Oh, no.
American Alpha. Now they just need to add Cody.
Oh, what's his face wants?
Got so much on my plate tonight. Finn's gonna turn on Dom soon. He goes right after Dom. You did it! Get the War Raiders!
Oh, yeah?
Old Dom.
Hmm?
Oh, like.
Mm.
War Raiders. Go do it right now, Carlito. You should spit in the face of people that aren't cool.
Well, that was a waste of time and effort to watch all that.
Is that what's her name?
Yeah, that's what's her name.
The singer?
The one that acts and she's all breathy. She was on those shows that McKenna liked.
Oh, I might not know that. Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an actor. That's a singer.
Mm-hmm.
That's him. It must be a musical.
Well, of course it is. They can't come up with anything else, so we've gone back to musicals now.
I don't mind musicals. It's like from the old days.
Me too. I like the old day musicals as well, but...
That's so weird.
It's creepy.
This Friday, part 2. I don't know if there is another movie that would even be in the running. Has there been one good movie this year?
I'm sure people think there are. So this is they're doing double tapings because to give the talent more time to spend with their families during the holiday season. Then what they should do is just take it off completely and not even bother. Be like normal television. Take like 3 weeks off.
Have an off season if they're worried about people and their families.
Yep. Have an off season. They're just entertainment people anyways. It's not, doesn't matter. Robbie says as long as it's not Bryan Danielson, then it's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris is like, Sack Interceptor by that boy Malik Hooker. Killer says, you what the funny part about the next Netflix era, there are people saying this will be a boom period. Good luck.
Yeah, if they can get to 1 million fans watching, it'd be a boom, I think.
He just kind of refused to want to give my money to Netflix.
I just don't know if they're going to get to 1 million. We'll see. Now, granted, they're probably going to do worldwide, and I would assume there'll be 1 million worldwide. But I'm talking in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they go, well, yeah, we left primetime TV in America, and now we're over 2 million worldwide. It's like, well, what were you getting worldwide on USA?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't tell us those ratings.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's true.
But they always try to manipulate you.
Oh, definitely. Chris says a little Bill Belichick on commentary on ESPN.
He's a funny dude. I think the Browns need to hire him and just revamp the whole entire from the top to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have him coach. Just let him be the grocery shopper.
Right?
Then the Wyatts show up and then they get beat up.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck kind of bullshit is that if you're trying to make a team good?
I have no idea. I just think it's garbage. I said it was garbage from the beginning, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, obviously it's a failure, right? Like, the Wyatt 6 is a failure. It didn't work. It failed. There's no way you could look at it and say that it's been a positive for WWE.
It hasn't brought back anything that remotely even makes me go, gosh, Bray would be so proud of this.
Oh, God, no.
It makes me want to throw up.
He got beat up by Karrion Kross, Bo. It did bring back Bo Dallas.
And then he laughed about it at the end like it was no big deal. I got beat up.
And Eric Rowan came back, and then what's his name? The weird one that doesn't talk, Dexter Lumos. He came back, and then they brought up some loser from NXT. The girl came back too, Nikki.
Yeah.
These are all releases, and it's like, well, oh my God, geez, that interception. Just throw it right to him.
He's like, I forgot who was on my team.
He's like, oh fuck, we're not the blue team.
I forgot we're on the white and blue jersey team, not the blue-red jersey team. My bad.
He threw that right to him. If that's
that guy's like, sorry, it's my fault, man. I should have been there, but I wasn't. See, number 88. Yeah, nobody cares. I mean, if people do care about it, that's great. But I said from the beginning of them and their stuff that it was a dumb idea. It's such a gross, disgusting display of trying to make something relevant on the kite strings of somebody's death. It's fucking gross. I find it absolutely putrid, personally. Like, what a gross thing to do about his memory and what he did for that company and what he did as the character that he was. It's fucking gross.
Yeah, they tried. They're like, let's bring him back, and then he died, and they're like, let's bring him back anyways.
Mm-hmm. Killer's like, imagine Raw and Espen. WWE College Wrestling. Chris says, if anything, they made Cross irrelevant. It's so weird. And Ravi says, USA 2-0 up. Wow. And Killer says, what's next? Is WWE bringing in college wrestlers? They kind of have, actually, Killer. They have brought in college wrestlers.
They've tried it. They've experimented with it.
They've had college, they've had Olympic wrestlers. I mean, they're there. They've been there. People are huge fans of one of them.
Brock?
Yeah. And,
Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle.
Bobby Lashley? Shelton Benjamin? Chad Gable? The one that got broken, his neck? Can't remember his name.
So he's trying to tell him that he's his own man, that he doesn't need him. That's kind of funny. Usually when they break them up, they all hate each other. No. Look, the 1978 Dallas Cowboys, now the 1986 ones. There's the 1996 ones. 2024 ones.
Dames. At least they've got a good cheerleading squad. That's the one they kept showing at the fight, too.
Why wouldn't they?
I just don't understand why they're just showing one.
Well, they're showing a whole bunch of them now. Are you happy?
Yep. They're like, just show half the squad.
Right.
When they got to her, they turned it back.
Attack!
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's Damien. Oh, God!
Oh, a side kick to the side of the head would have been way cooler.
Chris says, who is having a better year, Kaiser or Kyle Fletcher? I'd say Kaiser slightly better.
I would say Fletcher, and the only reason is because he's kind of the major player on the other wrestling. But it's also a B product.
Oh, fuck off. Robbie
What
says, Steve, if they
fuck
did it
did
for
they-
controversy. Robbie's like, Gunther got lapsed. And then Killer says, WWE or you or NXT you. NXT is already university. Robbie says, Adam Pearce dressed like a bank manager.
This is dumb.
Oh, yeah. Wow, what a great lead up they're having. And then they give Damien stupid lines to say. I mean, he made those up himself.
But
which
in
is
the
even
street,
worse. But in the street, I'm king.
I'm king.
Sure, my friend. Sure you are, buddy. Let's put you down in the streets of Mexico City and see how far you get.
Nice to him. He's Puerto Rican. They don't like him down there. I didn't realize that until I said it was all the same and got yelled at. This was a long time ago.
Mexico City is
I didn't
pretty
say it's
diverse
all
right
the
now.
same. I just said it's like the same. And Chico yelled at me.
As we should.
He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my goodness.
Old Sheamus trying to win the Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker.
He's trying to win again. We've been through this with another one. I don't remember who it was he had a feud with. It was the Intercontinental Championship.
Same.
But he tried then too because he's like, it's the only one I haven't won. It eludes me.
Oh, yeah. When it was Gunther.
Oh, maybe it was Gunther.
When Gunther was champion.
There. See? It's like, give it up. Come on.
I just want that title, please.
Robbie says, D, what's wrong with Damien getting a push? LOL.
He had his push. It's over.
Chris says Priest still wouldn't last in Mexico, aka SEMA or AA AAA. Killer says, what next? Is WWE bringing in kids wrestlers? They already have. You've seen NXT, right? Their champion was an 18-year-old that literally probably was groomed by Booker T, which was gross.
They're into that.
His commentary about them grosses me out so badly.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah. Like, and I'm so. What's funny is that, like, people are like, oh, no. And I'm like, all I had to do was listen to him, like, once or twice, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Like, that's creepy as fuck.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Just creepy. Chris says it was Gunther and Shamey. Yeah, Travis said it too. You guys are on the same page. Well, I was like, people deserve more than one push.
No, they don't. Not if they fall
Well,
flat.
let's see. He was a really bad champion.
If you fall flat in your push, I don't think you deserve another push. What did he improve on over his lackluster championship?
Yeah, what was it?
Unless you think that he improved, like, tremendously by saying he's king of the street. With beating up Gunther when Gunther
I mean, he
jumped
couldn't
in.
even do it when he had a group behind him.
Right.
He was irrelevant with that as well.
Not
So,
that groups help, but yeah. I know what you're saying.
Robbie's like, USA on a roll, a cinnamon roll, 3-0 up.
Cool. Who are they playing? And what kind of tournament is this that America would be in it?
It's against Jamaica, and it's soccer.
Like America has a team?
Uh-huh.
Like it's just called America's team?
Uh-huh.
It's not the Cowboys?
It's between them and Jamaica.
Well, I understand that, but... So you got them versus Jamaica in soccer for what? Like, is it the off-season or something? Because I thought we didn't have... I don't know. I don't know how it works. We have teams like Real Salt Lake and blah, blah, blah. Is it not soccer season? I don't know how soccer works. When's their season? And then what are we watching? What are you watching? And is it a tournament? Is it the World Cup? I thought the World Cup was in summer. I have too many questions.
It's the Confederation Cup qualifiers.
What's a confederation?
This sounds very unimportant.
Is the Confederation like the South? The Confederates?
Probably not. Oh, CM Punk.
Just merch. Just merch. It's 35% off or something today. That woman's briefcase is like $60.
The white one?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy.
I was like, dang.
I wonder why it's so cheap.
Don't know. That Tiffany one's still not ready. I had to look it up. I looked it up today. See, 35.
Robbie says, but his singles push now is better. Is it though?
Yeah,
Is Damien's singles push better? Okay, let's say. He was a singles wrestler in NXT. And he never won the main championship. He only won the North American.
Right. I think they had him planned to, and then Karrion Kross came in, and then they switched their plans, and then Karrion won it off of Keith Lee.
And then they brought him over to the WWE Raw and SmackDown, right? And he hasn't really been that great.
Since.
Like, I mean, okay, he won a mid-card title. Wow, you won that in NXT. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Robbie says it's the Americans' version of the Euros. Okay.
Oh, so you're watching American, like, North and South American soccer.
Sounds like it, since Jamaica would technically be in that
Yes.
area of North, Central, or South America. Killer says, imagine WWE starting a high school wrestling company.
Yeah, that would be dangerous. You wouldn't want little kids out there breaking bones and necks and stuff.
Not the bones and necks.
They're like, don't try this at home. We're bringing it to your school.
Right?
It's awesome.
Don't try this at home in your backyard.
Because we're bringing it to school. Like you got like PE day or whatever. Remember in grade school, the PE day? And they take your whole class. It was like once a month or something. You go into the gym.
I want to try those.
Nice. What are they? More Bose things?
The hot Bose Ultra Open earbuds.
Oh, wow. That was cool. I can actually... There was a barcode.
Yeah, there was a little thingy right there.
It popped up.
Yes, fella. Chris, to kick your old ass, he says. Chris says Tyler Bate as well as kind of like Johnny Spaghetti, but I think he's injured right now. He got called up earlier this year. He had the long blonde hair. He kind of had Bryanson gear type.
Was he the one that was in a tag team with Butch?
Yeah, he was like the really small dwarf-like guy.
And he had like
I'm pretty sure he has like dwarfism or something.
He had like a big head, a weird shaped body.
Killer says WWE had NXT kids.
Yeah.
Did they wrestle though? Or was it like them just learning stuff?
Here's the old and the young here. The next generation with Braun. You can see the size difference from the old generation.
Chris says yes, and he would kick their face with his foot while standing up.
Yeah. What do they look like? Are they those ones?
Uh-huh.
Those ugly, like, weird looking...
Yeah. They're called the Ultra Opens. It's because they cup around your ear like this. So I wonder if they would stay at my ear better. Or on it. Instead of, like, wearing full-blown...
I see how they work.
...things or stuff them in your ear. Robbie's like, D, I sent you on IG what tournament I'm watching. I sent you a description of it on IG. It's so long for me to explain in this chat.
Nice.
Well, who the fuck says I want to look at it?
Those are, like, not the cheapest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, they won't be about
There's a lot of colors, though. What color do you want?
I don't know what colors they got.
I don't know if they even say the colors. Okay, they have black, white, and smoke.
Does it show pictures?
Probably. It's a lot of scrolling.
Oh.
So there's the white smoke. Oh, wait, no. That's diamond. That's white smoke. That's black.
Mm-hmm.
There's blue, which is the color that they want you to buy.
Ew.
That's one they show you.
Ugh. That's hideous.
This one is called Sunset.
They showed those to you because they're on sale.
Ew.
Those are hideous.
Those are definitely not on sale. Those are...
No, the blue ones were. That's why I said
Oh.
they show you the blue ones because they're on sale.
The purple ones are...
Those are kind of pretty in a way. They have like what, a light blue color to them.
Lunar blue. Lunar.
Oh, those are dark.
Those ones are cheap too.
Oh, what kind of color is that? Brown?
Sandstone.
Oh. And moonstone blue? Oh, like a powdery blue.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Robbie says Travis is wanted to know, didn't he? Oh, look. Good God. Here is the description of the Confederate CONCACAF.
CONCACAF.
CONCACAF. Description. We are the Confederation of North Central America and Caribbean or Caribbean Association Football, CONCACAF. CONCACAF is one of FIFA's 6 continental confederations servicing 41 member associations from Canada in the north to Ghana, Suriname, and French Guiana. Okay, so you've got 2 different ones. You got
Guinea?
Guinea. Guiana, is that Guinea?
Yeah.
Okay. French Guinea?
Yeah, because
that sound right?
It's New Guinea,
in the
but
south?
yeah, it's but the French own it.
And then CONCACAF means football first. Our members are united by a shared vision, love for our game, as well as a unique mission to develop, promote, and manage football throughout the region with integrity, transparency, and passion in order to inspire participation in the game. Through offices located in Miami, Guatemala City, and Kingston in Jamaica, CONCACAF provides leadership for a network of unified competitions and development activities that unites this diverse region in football with the goals of actively promoting universal access to our sport and raising the quality of football across the Confederation. CONCACAF. CONCACAF. Killer says, is WWE bringing in Triple X?
Van Diesel?
Chris has been playing cool COD Black Ops 6, lots of fun. However, I'm stuck on a level in campaign mode because I fucking hate zombies. There's one level where they have zombies chase after you. It's so fucking stupid. Chris says, but I like playing online on Team Deathmatch. Anyways, never really play campaigns. That's cool. Brandon Steve is in the chat. Hey, Brandon says, hey, Wrestling Gap. Hey, Brandon, good to see you tonight. Chris says, New Guinea, like guinea pig. Yeah, but it's spelled like Guiana. And the other one's spelled Guyana, so they're two different countries. And probably pronounced completely different from each other. And Sophie says, I can't wait for the Raw Netflix era. Killer says WWE should do death matches. Like where
real
somebody
ones?
actually dies?
Like on death row prisoners? That would be sick.
Killer says, hell yeah, Sophie, we about to heat. Sophie says, this match was kind of spoiled for me, but I got 2 different spoilers. So, like, I don't know which one they will air. I don't know, 2 different spoilers on this. You don't know who's going to win, huh? That's cool.
I told people how I would do live events when they're going to be recorded and played later.
Right?
So, like, this match, whoever's going to win, I'd have win, right? But it would be kind of messed up, the ending.
Okay.
Like a fruit roll-up or something. And then you would cut and start it over. And say, well, because it's live crowd, right? And then you would just have another referee come down and be like, oh, no, he cheated. Right? Like, oh, he... And then, so they'd restart the match. And then they would wrestle. And then you'd have the other person win. And so when the spoilers came out, they would say, oh, you know, well, this is what happened. Look at Breaker just lands right on his back. Anyways, then when you edit it for TV, you could have either one win. And so even the people there would have to watch it. Because they wouldn't know who won.
Oh, that's true.
Because you'd have 2 endings recorded. And you only have 6 matches, and you only really need to do it with, like, 2.
True.
And then people would be like, oh, fuck. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then you'd watch it and be like, I thought you said blah, blah, blah. Well, look how fast that Dallas Cowboys guy is.
I think he won. There's a flag.
Yeah.
So he might not actually get it. I'm going to listen to this.
Oh, nice. Is it a country music song?
No, it's a voicemail from Costco.
Yeah, they're coming tomorrow. Not gonna hear it.
I want everybody else to hear it.
Like they're gonna come. It was a hell of a slam. Get it, Sheamus. December 14th. Long Island, New York.
Between 9 and 11.
Cool. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and dos.
He didn't do it on the outside of the ring, so it was weird. I just wanted to make sure because they called and left a message.
That's it? That's all I need to know?
It was just an automatic message.
Right, is that all I need to know?
Yeah, that is all it said. It just said there needs to be an adult there between those hours, 9 and 11.
Well, hopefully
so that's going to be hard.
Hopefully you'll be around.
Whatever, I'm not an adult.
You're more of an adult than I am.
Nope, not anymore.
Not anymore, she said.
No. I'm an irresponsible child. Killer says, hell yeah. Oh, I read that. Killer says, WWE in 2025 about to be on fire with crazy return storylines, cutting edgy promos, hot women, and other cool shit.
It'll be cool. I would like to see the hot women come back. But I just have a feeling
don't think it's gonna happen.
It's all going to come down to the sponsors. And if they push too edgy of stuff, then Netflix will lose their sponsors. And they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so, how are they going to pull it off? That's what it all boils down to. Is how can they keep their sponsors and still be edgy?
Yeah, it's... Especially, I mean, and I don't know how true this is or anything
Oh my god,
like that.
pick it up.
the TV-14 stuff. And if it's TV-14, that literally means they're not going to do anything. It's not going to be any edgier than it already is. It's going to be the same as it is right now.
He's hurt.
There might be a little blood, but that's about it.
Oh, we don't want blood, though. Blood doesn't make wrestling better.
I just don't think so either.
Look at this. He drops this twice.
Not only that, but he spits out his little thingy in his mouth, too.
Oh.
Oh, no. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing. He should have just laid down. He should have just took a knee. He should have just picked it up a bit. Fair catch! Fair catch!
Just lay on it. They're going to start this out on the 7.
Rob is like, WWE edgy. Good God, no. People think it's going to happen because they're going to Netflix because they're not going to be on quote-unquote mainstream live TV.
Yeah,
But according to this, they're recording everything. So, if they're recording everything now, what makes you think that they're not going to record stuff to put on Netflix, too?
My thing is like, I have several, but my big one is, like, how are they going to do live on Raw and SmackDown, but one's on cable and one's not, and then go, well, on Raw, you have to bleed. They'd be like, well, then I'll fucking go to SmackDown. I don't want to cut my forehead.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
or the women, well, I don't want to show my hoo-ha.
Yeah, I don't want to show
I don't want to show my tits.
I don't want to be sexualized, so put me on SmackDown.
That's on cable TV. Or go back to fucking NXT.
Right? And it's just like, that's what they got. That's their choices. And they definitely can't show their tits in NXT. That's on network television. That's a totally different monster. The SEC or whatever they're called, the ACC, SEC, whatever they're called. Oh, would just find the shit out of them for that.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, is like, how do you have one show that's edgy, one show that's medium, and one show that's PG? Now, granted, NXT's a different show, but Raw and SmackDown aren't. They've always been.
The thing of it is people try to lump NXT in with them all the time.
I think they're done.
They try their hardest to put it like it's the same. It's part of it. It's this, and it's like it's not though.
Well, I think they finally gave up on that. But they did for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Triple H really wanted it to be a third brand.
Yeah. Well, no. You have to have some kind of developmental league somewhere. Oh no, he's a smart veteran and he's leaving the thing after that spear.
Wisely rolling to the outside.
Oh, Braun. You should have learned that from your daddy and uncle.
Dun dun dun.
Robbie's like, D, you're more edgy than WWE. LOL. WWE on Netflix won't make people get Netflix. Not in this economy. Like, if people have already cut out Netflix, they're not going to go back and get it just to watch one thing. And if they do, that's on them.
Oh, shit.
But I don't think they're going to get as... Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser.
I don't think they're going to get as much...
He must have hurt his back.
Either that or his arm's broken. His arm looks stupid, too.
Yeah, but how he's the guy's holding his arm.
I know, but his arm's out like this, and it looks all dumb looking. Oh, Chris is like, Kaiser, I knew it. Kaiser wants title. I called it before he would become IC title, which is fine because Gunther told him to go for it, didn't he?
Shit.
He didn't say no.
His arm.
Kaiser's like, I am my own man. Or I was like, Ludwig, oh boy, didn't know he had that in the locker a lot. What do you call people? Boy, it's weird. Chris says Kaiser has new taunt. He raises his arm like Undertaker.
Right.
Robbie says, it's 2024. There are ways to watch Raw without Netflix. Yo. I'm not talking about that, Robbie. I'm just talking about normal, regular people. What they decide to do in their own home is they're on them and whatever that. What I'm talking about is Netflix and wrestling people of WWE just thinking that people are just going to automatically buy Netflix to watch fucking Raw.
Yep.
They're not going to do it just to watch fucking Raw. Travis was looking at it, and even the commercial-based stuff, you know, it may only be $7 right now a month, but that shit's going to go up.
Yeah,
they already said they're going to do a 12 or 13% increase.
Yeah, it's going up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 10 by the end of this December.
Yeah. And then people will be like, well, it was the same as what you paid for WWE's app. And it's like, yeah, but their app, I got to watch all their content plus their pay-per-views. Now I have to pay for a separate place to watch their pay-per-views, a separate place to watch Raw, and a separate thing to watch SmackDown, and a separate thing to watch NXT. Fuck you. You dumb assholes. Fucking can't stand that shit. Oh, they changed the way they have their stuff.
But not Roman.
Tyrant! Keller's like 2024 is really the end of the PG era. Ravi says normal, regular people will watch without Netflix. How do you think I watched the Tyson fight without... Ravi, stop. You have to stop. Most people are going to pay. Stop. I don't care what you do or what other people you may know do, but most people, and I'm talking 85% to 90% of people, are going to pay money for things. No matter what. You have got to stop trying to think that because you do it, everybody does it. It's not how it is in the real world of people.
I think it's how they do it in the real world.
Sure.
Everybody just does what Robbie does.
Right. Chris says CM Punk might lure Seth Rollins into... Might lure? Are you saying lure Seth Rollins into War Games?
Yeah, they're going to lure him in. You know, like a fish lure?
I know, but he spelled it weird, so I'm not sure if he means lure.
Yes.
Lure. I'm
oh
guessing
my God.
He means lure.
Oh, he got caught from behind. At least the Cowboys had some speed back there.
Flag! Flag on the play. Somebody smacked somebody in the face. Nobody liked it.
Nobody wants to show it to us.
Robbie says, bun paying most people don't pay.
We're going to see it again.
But I'm saying that most people do pay. That's what I'm saying. There is going to be a higher percent majority of people who pay than the people who don't. Sorry, bud. Okay. And as for Killer saying that the end of PG era, it's not.
It can't.
NXT is still going to be PG. Fucking SmackDown is still going to be PG. That's 2/3 of their programming. Right there. 2/3 of their fucking programming. Just because Raw is going to a place that you think isn't going to... I mean, even if it is rated TV-14, what does that really entail? Like, what is it do you think that they can do at TV-14? Because right now, they don't even say swear words of mostly of any kind. So what, they might incorporate shit and bitch into what they say? Words? Because that's about as far as it's going to go.
Hopefully Jade's that bitch again, but she won't be.
No.
You know, they're still trying to... Wrestling without networks, even if it was on its own network and it had its own rules, its own web pages, everything, and it wasn't controlled by anything else. They still want kids to watch it.
Yeah.
It still boils down to...
It depends, and they want kids to watch it.
Young kids.
But who are the people that let their kids watch... Oh, it's their parents! Their parents! Their parents.
Oh.
And then nowadays, there are lots of ways for people to control stuff. So, I'm going to tell you this. If you have children who watch your Netflix, and they are under the age of 14, they won't be able to watch that. Because it's not going to be in the parental guidance for it. The parental controls will make it, and they'll be like, oh, well, I don't let my kid watch anything over PG.
Yeah. What I'm saying is they have to have 2 million fans. You can do the math. They have a 10-year contract, $5 billion. They have to have 2 million more fans than they have already on Netflix to pay for it every year for 10 years. 2 million more than they have now. So when wrestling goes there, if you already have Netflix, then you don't count. They have to have 2 million more. Sign up and do it for 10 years to cover that cost. Now, that's impossible. It's not going to happen. We can all agree on that. So how are they going to cover Netflix, not WWE? How's Netflix going to cover the cost that they're paying WWE?
Yeah.
The only way possible is selling ad revenue. How are they going to sell ad revenue if their content is too pushy, where Snickers doesn't want to, Baby Ruth doesn't want to, I don't know any companies right now, Coca-Cola doesn't want to. Nobody wants to sponsor them because it's too edgy, or it's too homophobic, or it's too transphobic, or it's too phobic and phobias, and they're not gonna get sponsors. Meaning they won't have commercials. If they don't have commercials, then Netflix doesn't get paid. If Netflix doesn't get paid, then WWE is going to be in trouble, and they're going to have to change their ways. So the PG era is over, but the TV-14 era isn't going to be anything like it was. If you're expecting wrestling to be like it was in the end of the 90s and early 2000s, you're just out of luck.
Well, and I mean, and granted, you can say the PG era is over, okay? So they're not rated PG, fine. And just looking up some stuff, yes, NXT is TV-14. That's what they're putting out on the CM, on the CW. It's rated as TV-14, okay? So TV-14 is a rating that means the show is intended for children ages 14 and older, and that parents are strongly cautioned to monitor it. So, 14 and older, 14-year-olds don't give a flying fuck about wrestling.
Right, so how do you...
Little kids, on the other hand,
love it.
Really like it. And the only way those 14-year-olds are actually even intending to really even pay attention to it is if they are raised in a household where a parent watches it. They're going to have to be very careful about your TV-14 rating, the intense violence they show, intense sexual situations they show, strong, coarse language, and intensely suggestive dialogue. Because they want it to be about kids, too. So it's going to be a very fine line that they're going to have to play on. So you're not going to see naked women out there having fucking sex. You're not going to see them literally beat the living shit out of everybody. You're not going to see this stuff that you want to see so bad that they did back in whatever era you're all obsessed with.
The sex era.
It will never be that. No matter what.
No, that's over.
So, and the thing of it is like, okay, NXT, okay, we'll take them for a prime example, right? They used to be PG, right? They're on the CW, now they're rated TV-14. How much of their stuff has changed to reflect a TV-14 rating?
Not enough.
How much? How much of it? Because that's where you're going to take your example of what's going to happen. So take that as an example of what's going to happen, because if you're a live streaming, live stuff that Netflix is doing with it live, you have to be very careful about what you put on their stuff. And I'll give you a good example. If you didn't watch their live thing of that fight, that boxing match, and you've never ever seen Paul's other boxing match promotions that he's done, it was very, very, very different. Very, very different. Like night and day difference. And I can tell you from experience of watching them too. Because when he did his promotions under DAZN and doing paid-for pay-per-views, there was lots of swearing, sex, music, rap stars. I mean, all kinds of stuff was part of their programming, part of their pay-per-view. I mean, dope, drugs, all this other stuff was promoted, was part of it. And the Netflix one that they just did, and I'm going to tell you this honestly, because it's not anything that's a hidden secret, Mike Tyson is a very, very, very big fan of smoking marijuana. He is. He likes the marijuana, okay? It's a known fact. And if that was something he did, wouldn't you think that would be part of it? They didn't have any of their concert material that they normally do during his pay-per-views. They didn't have any of their crazy stuff they normally have during any of his pay-per-views for anything. It was very bland. It was very almost professional in a way, which was kind of creepy for a fucking Paul fight. For anything that's promoted by his company, it was weird. And that right there gives me the example of what they're going to do for all of their live events. Right there. Right there. I'm like, yep, dead on. That's exactly what it's going to be like. So you can tell me all you want that it's going to be naked women running around and they're going to be having sex in the ring and swearing up a storm and stabbing people with knives and whatever else you think's going to happen. But it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. And I don't want you to get disappointed that that change isn't as huge as you think it will be. Because it's just not going to. It's just not going to be that big. It's going to be small changes that you might not even fucking notice because it'll feel like it's the same thing. Just like with NXT. Their rating changed. And
maybe they're waiting for Raw.
I mean...
What's SmackDown's rating?
It's still PG.
Yeah.
SmackDown's the only one that's not. Because it's on USA.
Yeah.
Because it's a station that everybody sees. And I'm surprised they did on the CW, but the CW's always been that way, by the way. I could see the CW doing that because the CW has always been a station that's had some kind of like progressive, different, programs on there.
All right, here we go.
So
Dominik Mysterio in there with Eric.
This is this for them to go up against them to get, like, the tag teams? Or is this just them fighting each other? I think it's just
a fight. Finn Balor throwing them to the wolves.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like Dominik.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. They're going to break. I just don't know if Finn's going to turn to a babyface. Or they're going to try to babyface Dom, which is just... if you do that, just cut him. That's just the best thing you could do with him.
Right. As Robbie said earlier, 90% of people I know do what I do. It's the only way to watch non-TV sports. I watch Liverpool games not shown on TV through my medium when they ain't on TV. 90% of people you know, Robbie. Do you know all... Let's just go with America. 320 million people in America that have televisions? Do you know every single 2 million viewers of Raw? Do you know them? Because you don't. That's what I'm telling you. I don't care in your little circle of people, whether it's 10 people or 20 people, and 90% of them do there. That's not something that happens everywhere. Like, in all reality, it might just be because you guys share a lot of stuff and share knowledge, but it's not something that's normal around here. Especially in America. In the United States.
It's hard to talk. It's hard to even talk your friends into it.
It's not normal. So, that's what I am telling you. Your norm is not everybody else's. In the world. Maybe in your circle, but not in the world. Sophie says, I don't know how they decide how to rate stuff, including shows and movies. It's content. Content, usually. Robbie says, my dad let me watch wrestling when I was 5. Travis's grandpa let him watch wrestling by the time he was probably 2 or 3 years old. He watched it through all the eras of gross and everything they did. You know?
Yeah, I used to watch WWE just because they did show boobs. Miss Jackie always had her tits out. And then that Dawn girl had hers out, Dawn Marie. and others, Sable.
Right? Rob is like, no harm in that. And Killer says, Sophie, it means TV14 will give TV shows freedom. And Sophie says, do you think with Raw moving to Netflix that might lose them some fans?
About a 500,000 is what I'm expecting.
I'm expecting their shit to be lower, yeah.
I think they'll be right around 900,000 if they're lucky. 700,000. And I'm talking about in the United States.
Yeah.
They might grow in other countries because they're not available in
their
other
viewership,
countries.
Because Netflix...
They're going to be in
a lot of them have to watch Netflix in order to watch their pay-per-views.
They're going to be in 120 countries. It's going to be SmackDown, it's going to be Raw, and it's going to be NXT, all on Netflix in every other country but America.
Yeah. And
probably Canada.
Yeah, in the United States, it's literally, you have to have 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 4 different things to stream each thing of wrestling right now.
Hypothetically 5. If you watch AEW or any other wrestling.
Yeah.
But just
WWE.
Yeah, because you have to have USA, you have to have the C-Dub, you have to have Netflix, and you have to have Peacock.
Peacock if you want to not spend $50 to $80 on a pay-per-view. And I'm talking about average, normal, regular people.
Joe.
Not Ravies people who, oh, well, we do. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Because you're not of the norm. That's what I'm saying. You're not of the norm. Norm, don't do that.
You're Abby.
Your normal, average person who watches pays for shit.
Abby normal.
Is what I'm saying. And that's hard. I get it. I totally understand. You're like, no way. It's like, yeah, people do. It's just how it is.
No way.
No way.
No way.
Robbie says, D, if WWE water it down even more, it won't be worth watching even more. They're not going to water it down. It's just not going to be as crazy as everybody thinks it's going to be because they're not on USA Network. It's not going to be like this crazy, all of a sudden it's back in the days of olden times when you guys were kids and the 90s and all that. It's never going to happen. No matter what you guys want, it's not going to happen. People have to watch out for their bottom line. And corporate greed is going to play precedence over what the quote-unquote supposed fans think they want.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal when they move. But not anywhere near as big a deal as the Attitude Era that people are expecting.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not there. It's not. They're not capable of doing this.
No. They just aren't. And they can't. They just can't. Like Travis said, you have people who are invested in this. You guys have to remember that WWE is bought out by a huge fucking corporate company. And that corporate company has their own investors that they have to fucking, please. And they have advertisers and they have people that go with their company because they want their stuff on there. And okay, let's say it was all corn, OnlyFans and this and that and everything. Then fine. But you would have to put it on something that wasn't, quote unquote, a streaming service that was supposedly geared towards everybody. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, it's not as, quote unquote, well, they can just do whatever they want. It's not going to happen. Just not. They can't.
But you know who can? Dominik Mysterio. He can. When he runs for president, that's going to be his slogan.
Somebody says that NXT was rated TV14 about that. Killer says, hey, PG era, you say goodbye because you're done next year. Somebody says it sounds like the pay-per-views will be on Netflix in other countries. They already...
Yeah. And Netflix.
Yeah.
The pay-per-views also. So everything's going to be... So the thing you can do if you live in America is get yourself a really good VPN, get yourself Netflix, and log in from Europe and watch your wrestling, and you'll get all of it on one place. You're set. Just got to get a good VPN.
So if it says SmackDown is the only WWE show that is not rated TV-14, do you think that with Raw being on Netflix, does that mean they will bleep the crowd out if they say a bad word like they do now?
I don't think so. I think it'll be more like AEW. But I also haven't watched the CW to see what they do. Because if CW blocks it out, then yes.
And the CW is actually probably is capable of being in more living rooms than anything else than USA.
Absolutely. You can get it on an antenna. Or whatever they call it, a digital antenna.
Chris is like, hi, yeah, they did a little promo with her and her stuff earlier. So if it said with Raw and Netflix, we will be seeing a lot more live episodes than now where we get pre-taped shows. Not necessarily. Sophie, they could do pre-taped shit on there all the time. They could pretend it's live and it's not. Like they're doing the same shit. They're going to do the same stuff. It's not going to be that different. I don't want everybody to get so disappointed and go, oh, it's going to be like this, and then it doesn't happen, and then you guys are like, well, I don't understand. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same, but it's not going to be that much different.
No.
Robbie says, I can't say I have invested in the Paul's boxing too tough to care. Okay, so the only reason why I know is because of Travis's daughter being a fan. That's the only reason why I've seen them. And have seen his promotions. And seen those. That's it. So I can make a distinction. I can take that and go, well, this is what happened Friday night. And this is what he did in the past. They were nothing alike.
No.
Absolutely
I was looking
nothing.
for the concerts, and there wasn't one.
There was no singers,
Carlito
nothing.
gets pinned.
All right, poor Carlito.
He's gonna have to spit in his own face because
He's not cool. He's definitely not cool. Chris says, make Kai finally a star. Have her have a good showing in Rumble, but it's so hard because Chelsea Green also needs to have a good showing. True.
Well, there's so many that need a good showing.
It's true. Killer says, imagine the Punisher coming to WWE. Robbie says, I heard Tyson needed the money. That's why he did the fight. Sophie says, I feel like if Indy didn't get released, Candace probably wouldn't be in this War Games situation. Probably not.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to make her happy, although she'll probably get released, I would assume, in the next round.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's going to be a few
lot
layoffs.
of releases at the beginning of the year.
I wouldn't be surprised if her and her husband got axed. There's no place for them.
Mm-hmm. And with the contention they're having with Ciampa and him, are like right now, and his little, well, they're my friends
Ciampa
stuff.
Got mad at him on Friday, I guess.
Oh, again?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's funny. Sophie said, I wonder how many people that watched the fight on Friday are WWE fans that will watch Raw Weekly when it hits Netflix.
A few.
Robbie says, D, who said it was going to be what you just said? It's not going to be. I don't know. Sophie says, I'm surprised WWE didn't try to keep all their brands on the same network. Why? When all these other networks are paying so much money to have them.
There's
it's
no
called
way.
Money.
Okay, so they sold the whole entire company for, what was it, $9 billion? They might have been able to get it for a little bit less. Maybe, I think it may be $8 billion.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to buy all their content, you would have to literally spend that much money just to have it on your channel. So you might as well just buy the company.
Yeah.
Like if you were NBC, just buy it. If you're going to pay to put it on, just buy it.
Yep. Killer says WWE should bring back Over the Edge next year. Chris says, yeah, CW is Vampire Diaries Teenage BS, so that's why NXT is doing these weird love story with Carmen Petrovic and Ashani Adontis. What? Not a shanty. Sophie says CW mostly doesn't have that many shows. They do have shows, though.
They used to. They used to have pretty cool shows.
Killer says WWE goes TVMA, DLV, plus 2.8 million views for Raw.
For Raw, I think Raw's going to get right around 900,000. Maybe 750,000 on bad days. And when it first gets on there, they'll have more.
Yeah. And it's not going to be mature. Sorry. I disagree with the TVMA. It's gonna be TV.
Oh,
It's gonna be TV 4. I agree. Wherever Sophie got that information, I would bet. I would say probably 85% positive that that's probably what it will be as TV 14. Sophie says we only got Peacock until March or April of 26, and who knows what happens after that. Chris says WWE have Peacock. I pay for $15. Netflix is free on my phone company. My parents pay for. LOL. NCW comes with AT&T cable. I pay for.
Well,
but wonder if you don't have any of that stuff, Chris. Wonder if you didn't have a phone company that gave you Netflix for free. You'd have to pay for it.
Yep.
And you pay for your Peacock, okay? And then the CW comes with AT&T cable that you pay for, but you wouldn't have to pay for CW because you can actually get most of that with an antenna, a digital antenna. But you still have to get the antenna, hope that you get that channel, which you should. It's part of them. I'm just saying that that's 4 different places to watch things. It's weird. It's weird. Plus, you have to have USA, so you have to have cable to watch Raw right now. I'm talking right now, even. You have to have 4 things to watch every single thing of WWE. Chris says, yeah, it's not the same with MLB and football moves from Fox to ABC. It's still the same. Yeah, but, you know, even that's another thing, right? These streaming companies are buying games to stream on their device so that people can't see their game for their home team unless they get their shit. Like, who does that? Like, that's just taking advantage of the consumer at this point. It's disgusting.
Netflix is going to have 2 Christmas Day games.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how well that goes for them, and that's before Raw comes to Netflix. So we'll see how well they do with a couple more live events on a day when nobody's working, basically. Hardly anybody, you know, I mean, people work that day, of course, but there's people that don't work that day. There's going to be a lot of people at home watching those football games.
Could be.
And people at home that just want to watch Netflix. Because they have holiday shows on there. Because it's Christmas Day. Yeah, we'll see how well that works out for them.
That's a Wednesday. That's a weird day to have games.
Yeah. Somebody says with Raw on a streaming service, they could end anytime they want. They don't have to stop at 11 or 10. Killer says on Facebook there is an MA fanboys group. USA Network has TV MA shows. Are they after a certain time at night?
Yeah. Harbor Freight. No middleman. There's going to be a lot of games just in random places like this one. It's a Friday night game. Black Friday football.
Wow. So you're going to tell me that the TV MA shows that USA Network has are constituting towards what you think that WWE Raw or whatever was equivalent to back in the whatever era. What is that era?
They call it Attitude, but it was the sex era.
Sex era. So Mr. Robot, which was basically about cybersecurity. Remember there being a lot of sex or swearing in that show. The Sinner, watched most of those. There wasn't really sex in them. No, like, boobs hanging out or anything like that. There was death.
So they used to on USA when we were kids. They used to have a lot more edgier content.
I know. It was like, after a certain time at night.
Yeah, it was like 10.
Yeah.
12 on the East Coast.
Yes.
And then you'd have, like, the 1-900 She Loves Me or some shit.
You'd have all of the little sex call talk places that were on there.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying, though. It's not like that anymore. None of it is. Like, trying to pretend it is setting yourself up for not being happy. Chris says, let's be honest, right now WWE caters to weirdos and OG fans who watched since they were born and slow people. Like, I'm sorry, but that's their demographic.
It's a fact.
That's not something to be sorry about. That is their demographic. Sophie says, who would have thought if you are a fan of the WWE, you need like 4 things to watch it? I did. I do. That's why I think it's such a farce. Like, they don't care about you guys as fans. Are you fucking kidding me? If they really fucking cared about you guys as fans, you know what they would have done? They would have kept the WWE Network, the app, and just kept that and put every single one of their shows on it. Every live show. And then guess what? It wouldn't have mattered what they were really rated.
10-year anniversary.
Think about that. Oh, now he's worried. We've been yelling. 10 years of nothing, and now we're mad.
You're not New Day.
The history?
Let's not pretend that Big E wasn't there.
I think he just wants to be relevant, and he's trying so hard to continue to be that way, and it's just not working out.
Yeah, there's a bunch of misfit toys. Wait, they're still Alpha Academy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
I know, they can't even give them their own name. Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, my God, it's main event time?
Yeah, it's main event time. Yeah, that's great, but not what's in it. Ugh.
Who's he wrestling?
Who knows? Oh, he's Australian. I thought he was from New Zealand. So he says that, and Robbie says, I'm not going to miss out on watching my team Liverpool in decent games because it's not on my TV. I'm going to stream it on my Android box from channels from around the world. Yes, man. Robbie, that's great. Good for you. Once again, you're not of the norm. It's okay to be different. It's okay. You know, it's okay. Normal people just don't think about that. Normal people probably just go to the pub and watch it.
Yeah, the pub.
Sophie says, wonder how long it will be from the first Raw Netflix show that people will stop watching it. Chris says, yeah, we have CW Tower here in Houston. It used to be called the WB, for short for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Sure was. WB used to have the best fucking things on their channel. They had some pretty gnarly things out there, shows and stuff.
So Seth's going to get beat up tonight, and then he's going to want to join the War Games thing. So he's probably going to get beat up by everybody.
I thought he was already in their team.
No, he said no.
Oh, he's not because of Roman. So he says Finn and JD haven't defended their championships in a while.
Oh my God, they're the champions?
Yeah, nobody cares. That's how much they are relevant.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
That's funny.
Killer says Raw entrance stage will look different. Ravi says this game is spicy. It's 4-2 to the USA. Jamaica trying to come back. Chris says, I just hope Kiana James comes back at Rumble and also has good showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody wants
James,
her.
Bitch.
That's right. Sophie says Bo is sounding more like his brother Bray every week.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Maybe he should just stop and be himself.
And Bo leave?
Instead of trying to be something he's not, like his brother. It's weird. Chris says, why is 6 target Judgment Day now? I guess. That's what that was about. Killer says this TV 14 for WWE is uncensored. Sure it is, Killer. Sophie says Netflix has the option of canceling their deal with WWE at any time. It's a good thing they had a safeguard in there. Sophie says, did you hear Inside NBA is moving to ABC starting next year? They announced that yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, they're already out there.
Yeah, we knew this was going to happen.
And Sophie says Beyonce is performing the halftime show of one of those NFL Christmas games. You mentioned that earlier. Chris says, yes, since when did Christmas game have a halftime show, but actually ain't nobody gonna watch the Texans. Sophie says, I don't know, NFL doing Christmas games was a thing. It has never been, Sophie. It's just this year.
It's on Netflix.
Killer says the Victor Edge era might be the next era for the WWE.
The who edge?
Victor Edge era? Okay.
Like, what's that mean?
I have no idea.
Who's Victor? Is that a wrestler?
Sophie says Psych, Monk, Burn Notice Suits were the USA Network shows that were on after Raw back in the day. Yeah, but were they TVMA?
Oh.
Like the ones that they showed at TVMA, there were 5 of them and those weren't in it. And the ones that they talked about, I've seen a couple episodes. I've seen most of the center and those ones aren't really like, I mean, it's MA because of the content, not because of what they show. They don't swear in it. They don't go around saying the F word. They don't show, like, sex and all that stuff. I just don't want you guys to be disappointed. Because I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit of a letdown.
It will be.
For what people are expecting it to be, or want it to be. What you want it to be. So he says the WWE Network was good, even though most of their original shows weren't that great. Killer says he made a video about WWE being edgy. Sophie says, wow, the main event already, that was quick. Chris says, Maxine, another one who needs a good showing in Rumble, have her get a big elimination.
Yeah, throw out somebody like Nia Jax or something.
Sophie says, I thought the halftime show for football was only for the Super Bowl. Chris says, so many finger McBanging, I never understand why wrestlers used hand signs as people in crowds can't fucking see them. I don't know. I've never been to a live event, Chris, and you have, so you'll have to tell me if you can or can't see the hand signals in the crowd somewhere.
Oh, you can see what's happening.
Killer says WWE should be a wrestling. WVE should be a wrestling product. Okay. Sophie says, with Raw going to Netflix, wonder what that means for the bars that usually play WWE stuff. I don't know.
Nothing. I'm
I
sure
mean,
they'll have a Netflix account.
Robbie says, nah, but going pub, they ain't allowed to show games on TV Plus. In the UK, who wants to waste money in a cold pub on overpriced drinks when I can watch all my sports at home? Well, most people who like to go there and have interactions with people, and around here for NFL football, a lot of people go to the bar or pub or whatever you want to call it, and go there and watch their team play, plus other games that are happening, and do eat and drink. Happens a lot. Once again, you're not the norm. See where I'm getting at with this, Ravi? I'm going to beat it into your little head at some point. You're not the norm. I'm sorry. You're different. Oh, gosh darn it. You do things not the same as everybody else. Imagine that. No way. No way. Chris says we had Christmas Eve games before. Really? Christmas Eve games?
Well,
I mean, when did that happen, though? When were the Christmas Eve? Like, what
on
year?
Sunday.
Oh.
Or a Monday, right? Like, if it's Monday night's Christmas Eve.
But not on purpose. Right. Not like, oh, it's Christmas Eve. Because I know they've always had Thanksgiving Day games.
Yes.
Right? That's a norm.
Because it's a Thursday.
They've always done that.
Right.
They're like, yeah, but no, they had them during the day, during the day, right?
Just said because it's Thursday. Yes.
But I'm not saying because it's Thursday. I'm just saying because at some point they probably never had Thursday night games or anything. They just had, on Thanksgiving, we have these games. No other Thursday in the whole entire year. We just have them on Thanksgiving.
Yes, the Thanksgiving day games.
Right.
Which is the Cowboys play somebody and the Lions play somebody.
Right, always. No matter what. That's what I'm saying. That's traditional, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So, having a Christmas Eve games, they didn't make it like traditional, like, oh yeah, we've done it because of this. They did it because, it landed on that day. Right. So we did have games because...
And if Christmas was on Sunday, then they had games on Christmas. They didn't cancel the NFL for Christmas.
Exactly. Sophie says, do you think WWE will reboot one of their original WWE Network shows on Peacock at some point? No. Not if their contract expires with them in 26. There's no reason to. Chris says, and the biggest thing out of all of this Netflix, no vents. You don't know that. You have no idea what's happening behind the scenes in a corporation as big as who owns WWE. You do have to remember, right, that WWE is owned by a huge company
TKO.
now. It's not owned by itself. It's not its own thing. It is owned by a huge company that owns other things.
Once this shit goes away, Vince could easily come back. TKO wants him. They just don't want the shit that comes with it.
Right. Chris says that's why it will be a letdown. No offense. Sophie says, do you think this Raw Netflix thing would have been happening if Vince was still around?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the one that did it. He set it up, so yes. That's why they brought him in to make this deal.
Yep. Chris says, yeah, last year it was Texans versus Browns on Christmas Eve.
Trust me, if it was up to Vince, the whole thing would have been sexualized.
Well, if it was last year, it was on Christmas Eve, that means that it was a Sunday night. Because it was a leap year, and Christmas would have been on a Monday.
Yeah.
Because it's on Wednesday this year.
Is it? Then, yeah.
So if it was leap year, so it'd be not Tuesday, it'd be Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, but that's not a normal thing.
He hadn't missed a kick all year.
Ooh, ouch.
He's the guy that was sitting at home watching the Cowboys kicker miss all those kicks.
I mean,
and his wife goes, you could do that.
You could do
and
that.
he's like, I could do that.
I could miss a lot of kicks. And now he did. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So he says, why do you think they are doing a Christmas Day game? They're doing 2 Christmas Day games for NFL on Christmas Day through Netflix.
Netflix
bought and paid for.
Paid for 2 games so they could have them on. They want live sports on their shit. They're going out of their way to get live sports.
Yeah.
They're going to bring in all sorts of live sports. You're going to see boxing on there soon. You're going to see football on there soon. You're going to see wrestling on there soon.
We already saw boxing on there Friday. That was a shit show. Can't wait to see the shit show that happens for the live NFL shit. That's going to be amazingly
UFC's going to come up here pretty soon. Their contract with Disney's going to be up here pretty soon.
I'm going to tell you this much. Netflix is a wannabe HBO. Let's just put it that way. Rob was like, Seth nearly broke his neck rolling like that.
Yeah, I did.
Well, we know for sure that this whole situation is fucking retarded anyways, what they're doing here. This whole matchup shit is dumb, but whatever. So he's like, I know football games have games on Amazon Prime. Yep, they do. Amazon bought some games too.
Yep, they're going to do a Friday game on Black Friday. But they usually do Thursday games.
Yep. Robbie's like, is it fair to make athletes play games on Christmas Day?
There's no such thing as fair or unfair.
They get paid a lot of money to do their fucking job, Robbie. And that's their fucking job. And if their job happens to make them work on a quote-unquote holiday, get a different job. I have no feel-bads for any person who is an athlete. I personally think they get overpaid and they should have to have regular jobs like regular people. And they just go out and be athletes on their days that they aren't a regular person.
Cowboys still might win this damn game.
They might. I mean, it is the second, and we haven't had, and it's just going into the second half. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's only the second quarter, and it's only 17-10.
Look at this. He's a direct line.
Holy shit. What those guys do? Forget what they were doing? And he's like, he's like, I gotta let go of you.
The thing is,
he fell down, so he didn't hurt him.
His tight end was right there, or that would have been intentional grounding.
That would have been funny. Here we go, Seth. Oh no, he jumped up and got him, and he thinks he's gonna do more. Chris says, so technically, Chiefs are 3-time Super Bowl champs in 60s. They were once known as the Texans, so does that mean in lineage that Texans are technically 3-time Super Bowl champs?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Their pedigree.
Keller's like, Raw might be called Raw is War next year.
They were called the Dallas Colts.
That's funny. So he says, imagine...
Colt 45s, sorry.
The Colt 45s?
Yes, the Colt 45s. But still the Colts. But not the Colts that we think of. The Baltimore Colts.
Right.
They were the Colt 45s. There's a good chance they go back there, by the way. Because Kansas City doesn't have the fan base.
No.
And they want a new stadium.
Good luck. So this is, imagine if you're a football fan and you don't have the stuff that it is on.
Exactly. That's the point.
That's what we're talking about, Sophie.
And it goes everywhere.
Wow.
Right? Like, if you've got it on Disney Plus and you've got it on Amazon Prime and then you've got it on Peacock, and then you got it on ABC and CBS and NBC and Fox.
And Netflix.
Now Netflix. You know, who
it's
else?
It's a lot of fucking money to spend on something
then they're gonna,
to watch.
And, you know, and then you
can... Oh, YouTube? Don't forget YouTube. I mean, if we're talking just different. NFL.
YouTube's the package, though. That's everything.
Yeah, but still.
But then there's some, like, exclusive rights. Like, well, it's just on Netflix. So you can't watch it anywhere but Netflix. So if you have the network, it doesn't matter. Yep. It's like, well, then what the fuck am I buying the network for?
Exactly.
Well, you get every other game.
Doesn't matter. That's my team. I want to watch that one.
Except for the Thursday night games, because you're not going to get those because those belong exclusively to Amazon.
Yep.
Soon they'll just sell every game.
Yeah, like the games will be sold to different networks.
Like, and then maybe you could buy teams. Like, well, I get all the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
That would work.
Yeah.
But they won't do that because then people could just buy one thing, and they want people to buy 28 different stations. Or 32.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, let's buy 32 different stations.
Yeah. Robbie's like, it's not about the money. They got family to chill with. Okay, Robbie, you can say whatever you want that it's not about money, but it is.
Let's never use the word fair. Let's use the word, if you're going to use it, you have to use it in the right context. So instead of saying, is it fair, you say, life isn't fair. So you'd say, well, life isn't fair, so they have to play on Christmas Day.
There you go.
And then that way it redirects it because that's the truth. Life isn't fair, we already know that.
Yeah, but don't try to make me feel bad for fucking athletes that get paid $20 million a year that don't even work, don't even play all year round.
And basketball, not even... Basketball has the Christmas Day games, and that's when the season starts to warm up. Nobody watches basketball before Christmas. Unless you're P. Cola.
He really likes basketball.
I like playing it on my Nintendo, but other than that, I care less.
Sophie says my aunt could watch some baseball games because it is on regular TV.
Yeah.
And Chris says it was the Dallas Texans in the 60s. I meant, so that would mean Dallas is 8-time champ, including their 5-time champs.
Oh, there you go.
Sophie says because it is on regular TV, but most of the games is on other streaming stuff. True that. Robbie says, in the UK it's tradition to watch football on Boxing Day, but no games are on Xmas Day. That's just odd. Don't know what to tell you, Robbie.
Boxing Day is the next day, right?
Once again, we don't live in the United Kingdom.
And that's where you go out and you have a big bonfire outside. That's kind of the coolest thing I've ever heard of, to be honest. But
having a giant bonfire out on
the day
Boxing
after
Day.
Christmas?
I think it's cool. Chris says, LOL Colt 45 was the Astros, Travis.
Oh, I knew it was something like that. But yeah, you're right.
Sophie says, do you see MLB have a baseball game on Netflix at some point?
Yes.
Definitely, it's happening. Whether you guys like it or not.
Yeah, they're trying to get their live sports going. The only way they're going to get their live sports going is if they have live sports on it.
Right? Keller's like,
I'd love them to. What I would really like Netflix to do is to buy out the high school, whatever it's called. There's a high school network that plays all the high school games. And the only way you can watch high school games is on this network. I can't think of the name of it. I have it on my phone, but
right. I remember.
It costs like $12 a month to watch your high school, like your former alma mater, you know?
Right.
As your for an adult, right? But if Netflix bought it, That would be cool. Like, and it would be something that would be very cool for a company to own, like ESPN or something. And I feel like it wouldn't cost that much to buy.
Right. Robbie says, when getting various apps, I will just choose what I have. Once again, Robbie, you're not the norm. You're not the norm. You are not the norm.
Big fat Reed, he ain't gonna jump that far.
Oh, come on, buddy. I thought you were athletic in your bigness. Sophie says it is going to be like being a WWE fan because some people might not have all 4 things that all the programs that is on. It's true.
That's a fact.
But that's just what it is. Robbie says sport on Christmas Day is just odd. Oh well. Killer says Gen ZSXY Central School District of New South Dix. Chris says, yeah, in Japan, Christmas is like Valentine's according to them, and apparently they like eating KFC over there during Christmas. They do. I've heard that too.
KFC during Christmas.
I have lasagna on Christmas. Why the fuck not? No different. Sometimes I've always been like, do we have to have traditional shit? Can we have different things? Robbie says, not all football players are about the money. There's a French guy called Kante that played for Chelsea. He didn't care for being stinky rich. He didn't even have a fancy car. He had a regular car Mini.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he didn't care for being rich, but guess what, Robbie? He probably still got paid big bucks to be a player.
There it is. Curb stomp.
Sophie says there's a reason why nobody going after high school sports for a streaming service.
Why?
Why? Because people don't like to watch that? But people like to watch that.
You'd be surprised. I bet you there's a lot of subscribers to those companies.
Oh, no. He was out there, and he has a thing, and oh, no.
That's it. Seth's going to lose to this fat guy because of Solo.
Fucking dumb. Good job, Seth.
Now Seth's going to beg to join the team. Roman, can I please lick your butthole? Roman, I want justice. I need to lick your ballsack.
Right? Kind of like Tony Romo and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
Good God. Pretty sure, like you said, I'm pretty sure he's having his baby now.
I think Romo's pregnant.
Sophie says, let's see if the Raw wrestlers get any time off when it hits Netflix like they kind of do now. Why wouldn't it?
It's going to be exactly the same.
It's not going to change. They can still not do live events. They can still pre-record. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do more pre-recording. Sophie's like, so Rollins Reed 1-1. I guess. I feel like this is just stupid. So lame. All the lame.
Boring.
Well, alright guys, that's the end of Raw tonight.
Actually, it's not boring.
Yeah.
It's predictable. And I don't like predictable.
Yeah, the predictable stuff is dumb. But that's the end of Raw for tonight. We'll be back again on Wednesday for Dynamite. It is their go-home show as they are having a pay-per-view this weekend on Splatterday.
Splatterday.
All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching Wrestling Gab. Bye-bye.
Bye.